Well, well, well. Got some vaporwave in the background. And it just disappeared. And it's back. Just like me. I'm back. That's a little on the funky side for vaporwave, but anyway, I don't know how long this stream will be because I've got some family in town. I mentioned that on another stream that got some family in town. They're staying with me, but they're out right now, and I don't know where they are, when they'll be back. But I will have to kind of cut it off, abruptly at some point here. So today we're doing some light table inking. This here is a light table, and in the beginning of this story, there's the explosion where the main character doesn't die, but he's in the explosion. And then at the end of the story, I'm kind of doing a flashback to that. So that's why I'm copying this specific panel line for line to, echo back to the beginning of the story. It's one of those narrative devices where you've seen TV shows or movies that kind of start at the end and then go to the beginning. Somebody's murdered and some big event happens. That's the what do you call it? The hook. And then, it'll say like earlier that day, and then it'll take you through the events that led up to that hook. And that's what we're doing here, laddie. Only I noticed a wee bit of a problem. I'll have to fix it later. Suddenly I'm speaking with a Scottish accent. I don't know why. Just came out of me naturally. Oh well. What will I do? So there it is. Now Tuesday is the big day. What is it? So yeah, I've got some special guests. It's a fundraiser for Hyreth and her child. Everybody's aware of the news, the tragic news, and I don't want to kind of go into another sort of another show about that. I've done a show about that already, so I'm gonna let that go. Just gotta make sure that you guys see okay here. Doesn't appear that there's two people here. Some stalkers probably, right? We'll say hello, Golly G. Let me know who's here. This is part of the whole thing about doing comics. I really enjoy the inking process. It's just cool. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just really fun and cool. It can be very complex too. Now, I do actually expect my my relative to be out for a while. Like he hasn't been here in a long time, and so he's probably visiting other family that are local, and they're out, having fun. So that's probably going to go on for a while. And now you know. I guess I can tell you, one of my guests on Tuesday's fundraiser is the great and powerful Mark Collette from Patriotic Alternative. If you're in the white identity sphere, movement, struggle, then you know who Mark Collette is. And I had him on Imperium Art a good while ago, but he's always been very, very supportive of the arts. He's obviously like an absolutely stellar guy, top guy. Just I only have praise for him. I adore him. He's fantastic. And what he does, like, gosh, that's called a hero right there. That's a true hero. So when he heard the news, he was very, very upset. And the connection is not just with Jeff Winston, but my Tuesday show is going to be with Paul from Patriotic Arts Community in UK. And so those two know each other, they support each other. I would say that maybe Patriotic Arts Community is perhaps the art wing of Patriotic Alternative, run by Mark Collette. I mean, I can't confirm that. I'm just sort of assuming that's what it is. So regardless, those two guys are buddies, and it's funny because Paul had mentioned, like, maybe someday we can have I can get Mark Collette on. So it's like, I mean, obviously not under these circumstances, but Mark's a stellar guy, and I could see that he's gonna support what we're doing, obviously, right? So we'll be playing music, Jeff's music. We got at least one other guest for a while, Jayla Dark from the White Art Collective, who currently runs the monthly White Art Challenge. And I would say that's like White Art Collective 2.0. I think that's kind of fair to say. What else? I will leave the show open to founding members or pillar members of the White Art Collective. It's Tuesday at 4:30. The shows will go for at least an hour, but you just can't say like who's available at that time. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But at the very least, we want to get this fundraising started. Okay, we got a guest here, Flame Fox. Flame Fox. Any relation to Firefox? Great to have you here. Thanks for saying hi. So this is Light Table Inking Show. Is the music okay? So I've been going for walks more and getting myself up to speed a bit with, a little more exercise. Still doing pretty good on the diet stuff. Those are like ongoing things, There's this major house music event for Halloween that I'm super psyched about. Cannot wait for that. It's like all the right people, all the right DJs, the right location. It's going to be a blast. So can't wait. It's not on Halloween, but like that weekend, or whatever. But yeah, man, I'd freaking go dancing every night if I could. I love it. Granted, not all DJs are equal. The funny thing is that my city, we've got very, very good DJs, and we're not kind of like a big whoop city that like everybody fawns over or knows about or whatever. But anyway, one of the main DJs, he had a big name DJ come in from a big name city, and my buddy played the opening set, and it was phenomenal, as he usually is. And then this fancy big name DJ came on, and he sucked. He sucked. Like, you could see people were just leaving the dance floor, people were leaving early. Oh man, it's like, to me, I can't understand how you can be a DJ and not fucking get it. How can you do that? How can you be so stupid, I mean, I don't know, dude. And I mean, I'm not sort of trying to be rude or whatever, but like, dude, come on, like, we're here to have a good time, and like, if you like say play the same beat for a half hour, like it's like, there's this little thing about DJing where you change, it's called mixing. Look it up. I mean, he mixed a bit, but like he was one of these DJs that has like the bass on like 10, and so there's a gong, and it just hurts your ears, and it like kicks you in the gut, like repeatedly, and it's unpleasant, I know that there's people out there that like that, I know that's a style, hard house, I guess. Then, I don't know, maybe it was the fault of the guy who brought him in, like, I don't know that hard house is really popular at this venue, what am I gonna tell you? I don't know. Anyway, that's my big complaint about that. So what's new, Flame Fox? What's shaking? Why did you choose the name Flame Fox? I find that very interesting. It's a cool name. It's I think that's kind of part of the fun of our culture, is how people come up with different names, and how these names, or also the what do you call it, the avatars that people use. I mean, I'll friend someone just based on their avatar. I'll be like, oh man, this guy gets it, or this guy's funny, or what a cool spin on a certain meme, or something like that. Those kind of things. And guaranteed, like, if he's got a funny avatar that gets it, if you know what I'm saying, then you pretty much guaranteed there's going to be some fun content on that person's account. whatever the social media is. So, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Mr. Brain Chip himself, Elon Musk, has started charging like $1 to have an account, to verify the account or whatever. He did it in like 2 countries, New Zealand and Indonesia, for some reason. Don't ask me why. And I think it's sort of like testing it out. You know, it's testing it out. Like, whatever, you know, but yeah, you know, I mean, to me, it's the beginning of the end of Twitter, you know. I don't, you know, all things must pass, you know. It's not like, except, you know, we'll just move on to somewhere else, you know. Or not, I don't know what's, you know, kind of what's next. There's some other news. Some Trump employees are what's it called when you say you're guilty? There's a legal term for that. They're like saying that they're guilty for something to do with January 6th. And we all know January 6th was stolen and nobody's guilty of anything. So if they're saying they are, then they're doing it under duress. And, you know, it's, somebody commented on it when I posted something, they're like, you know, that they're probably threatening their families. Like, this is essentially where we're at. Like, they can't win another election. You know, they're very, very desperate at this point. So they're just going to do every tyrannical, illegal thing that they can think of, you know. So shit's getting ugly out there. I'm not sure that I'm digging this music. It's kind of weird. So I think I'm going to change it. If you give me a moment. Hey, Flash is here. Chatelet! Let's get some cool music on from my brother Flash. You guys, Flash is one of the coolest guys on the internet. He's like super crazy modest, but don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by that modesty. I love this guy. Great digital artist. Brilliant philosopher. So Hippocratic Oath says, welcome, by the way. He hates Islanders. They laughed at his swim shorts. Oh, we're talking about, stop. Hey, Wingett's here. Great to have you back. Bristol Paper, no, actually. Oh my God, this guy knows about comics. He's asking me those kind of questions. Let me go back though first. I guess you're making a joke about Elon Musk's swim shorts. Sidney Powell pleaded guilty. I mean, I actually have all of the, not all, but a very, very large amount of paperwork documenting all of the, and it's hard to even describe, like, of all these different cities in America and you know, their report on, you know, how they didn't get enough votes, or the votes were lost, or something. Every single city, there's some reason about, like, these, you know, this didn't work, or this was done illegally, XYZ PDQ. I could forward you guys those lists as well. I actually posted it on Twitter a couple days ago. So she had to have been doing that under duress. I cannot for a second believe that she pleaded guilty, like, from her heart, you know. She unleashed the Kraken and it ate her. See, damn, that fucking hurt. Fuck, dude. Fuck, man. That's fucking exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's like the Trump administration was all under the illusion that there actually was a government, that there actually was law, that there actually is America, a thing called America, that it's, playing by the rules is with criminals. That's not how it works. Winged says only Ashley was willing to be sacrificed. Man, that's some heavy shit out there. So, Bristol board is a type of comic book paper. It's a nice heavy paper. It's not cardboard per se, but it's not like like print paper you would use in an office or something. It's got a very good surface for inking, and it's $1 a sheet. Last part of that little explanation is what's going on, because like I could I don't know, let's see, if there's like 22 pages in 6 issues, what's 22 times 6? Somebody grab a calculator. So that's how much the paper would cost, and you have to have it like shipped, because I think there might be a local comic book store that sells it actually. And I'm like, why? I can just I can use normal paper. So there you go, and now you know. It is what it is. So moving on, I have a terrible problem with this that I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with it. Well, I'll just have to think about it. It's funny because I'm friends with another guy locally who is also a comic book inker, and he's very tight, very tight. It's like some of you, I kind of doubt you would know this guy, but a guy named Terry Austin. He is one of the top classic, well-known inkers in comics. And my buddy is like he kind of was influenced by Terry Austin. I would love to have my friend ink my comics, but it's a kind of thing like, I'm gonna ask somebody to do that. You should pay them. It's work. Let's see, make sure you guys can see. He's nice enough where he would just do it, for the love of it or something like that, But I can't. I'm not gonna take advantage of that, But he's seen me grow over the years as in my comics art, and I recently showed him these pages, and he was really impressed. And so, like, I'm not great. I really am not great. I'm my worst. I can see where my faults are probably easier than anyone. But it's really good to say, like, I've improved. I know that I've improved, And it's just really wonderful when your artist friends can look at it and go, damn, nice, Don, you done good. You done good, kid. So there you go. So I had this idea recently, like today, that, you know how I've been talking about doing research on Vril meditation and trying to come up with a show about that. So the idea was to actually illustrate a story that teaches the Vril meditation that I'm going to create. and that it would be in comic form. But I thought, what's a faster way to do this? And there's AI where you can draw, like anybody who's just can't draw, kind of just as the average person, they can sketch up something, and then the AI kind of like figures it out, and like, and holy shit, that looks great, that looks real, or it looks like a nice drawing. So the point I'm making is that it would save me time. You see, I can easily sketchy and make it look roughly real, but the AI would tighten it right up, and then be like, okay, that looks good. You know what I'm saying? And that way, I could put out this this kind of like edutainment comic book kind of thing. Like it's not a comic book, but it, you know, a storyboards maybe, like where I am using a character to teach this meditation technique. Hippocratic Oath says, come to California, you can grab 950 pages of paper and not get charged. How is that? That is cray-cray. Only Ashley was willing to say. I'm not sure what tooth means. Are you talking about the tooth of paper? Paper has a tooth. That's like an art. That's a paper art thing. Like that means how much texture there is on a piece of paper. If you were doing, say, what's it called, pastel, you would want there to be tooth on which would mean that it's like kind of rough, and that the pastel can rest in it and have texture. Whereas like comic book paper has no tooth; it has to be perfect sheen. Oaf says cops won't be calling it if you stay under 9. Oh, is that the new law now? Huh? Like you can rob anything under $950 in California. The yeah, Clown World. Hey, it's good to be black in California. All right, preparation time. Let's get that. Gibbs. Oh, it's exhausting. But yeah, I feel. You guys don't know this, but like I've been through some very heavy life changes in the past 6 months, and I've kind of come out on the other side transformed. When you go through as much pain as I have, and the type of problem that I had, it's the kind that makes you think, quite a lot about what you're doing. And just naturally transform from that. But there are, old mental habits or things one clings to because it's just the stuff that you've always done. And I feel like I'm finally pretty much past that. So everything is pretty much just about looking forward and, trying to produce quality content for our peeps. There's so many people out there doing various things already, and there's a certain amount of grift that's like, okay, whatever, we all have our different tastes and cultures and whatever that we're into. I don't know who would be into learning any kind of like mystery school style Vril meditation. I know that there's certainly a handful of people that I've talked to within the sphere that are extremely excited about what I'm attempting. Um, and they really, you know, you can't wait to find out. Um, we'll get to it. Yeah, we'll get to it. I'm not sure this is really vaporwave, but it's something. It's not nothing. See how intelligent I am. Maybe I'll start singing on my show. Come up with some lyrics for this. That I think is the one thing I'm most disappointed with or frustrated with myself is just how I haven't put together new music. I was actually on a vacation, and one of my goals during the vacation was to finish a song, like at least one fucking song, because I have all kinds of great guitar parts. And I ended up just coming up with even more guitar parts, you know. So I was working on it, but instead of, you know, coming up with lyrics or what have you, it turned out to be like, oh wow, this is interesting, this chord progression, this pattern, this feeling, this mood. And you don't stop yourself when you're in that zone, you know, you gotta flow with it. But I don't know, there was a certain situation in my life that was frustrating me a lot. I won't go into it, but it was just like drawing all my energy away and just kind of running me in circles, and I just became very, very frustrated with it. And you gotta be careful who you give your energy to, you know? It's a thing. Oh, and I kind of had to look back at the digital colorist that I've selected for this project. He's actually a dude in South Africa, which I feel is pretty cool. But anyway, like he does good work. Really does. His price is just right too. So I'm like freaking psyched to get going on that. Again, the thing is getting the money together for it. So I've got some plans. And I do want to start doing like what do you call it? Like a drawing. Imagine how you call into a radio station and they take requests and stuff. Well, like a drawing with request show, and then using super chats, what have you, to pay for it. Like, you know, yeah, hey, I want to see you draw a picture of X, you know, and donating $5, something like that. And then, you know, do like several of those, and then let people know that the money is going towards a fund to color the comic, you know. But the book itself, I think the first issue I'm gonna put out for free, just as like a PDF, you know. People can download it, read it, and then kind of invest themselves in it. Will I do a Kickstarter or something? I don't know, maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe, but like Kickstarters are very time consuming. It's just like a month of non-stop marketing, you know. Hey guys, and I'm like, you know, it's like I don't like listening to commercials to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So like, why do I want to be one, you know? Because you gotta get money, you bastard. I'll figure it out. It'll come. Not worried about it. I got a card up my sleeve or two. Alright, let's see what you guys are talking about. Flash says, I think that's unheard of. Could be cool. Doing the drawing request show. Yeah, I think in a way it'd be fun. It'd be cool. It'd be a thing that everybody can kind of gather around and just have a laugh and enjoy. There would be sort of short sketches, and not like a work of art that's going to take an hour to do, but semi-short sketches, something I can do under 5 minutes or something. Hey, Franklin. Good to have you, bruh. Oaf says, so sad I'm no longer California dreaming. Yeah, I went to California years ago, and that's a story. That's a Donald Kent story. It's not. I'm like, do I want to tell the story though? I was like younger. It involves these two girls that I liked both of them. To be young and do things that only young men do. The regrets you'll have. That's another thing that I pretty much decided not to do anymore, is just have regrets. Like, you know what? Yeah, I get it, but like, I generally kind of want to celebrate my past to an extent, and So I took a train. I mean, I'm gonna edit the story, but I took a train across the country to to see actually both of these girls. Wow, how do you decide that? Decide what? I don't know what you're referring to. You let me know and I'll answer. So one of them was not an exchange student, but like a student from another state that was in some kind of like interstate program. No, I don't know, whatever. She's from California and came out to my state. We had a really brief but intense love affair, and then she went back, and it was like like that. But it also turned out that there was another girl. I should like, Don, you're a bastion of moral behavior. Maybe I shouldn't tell this story. What am I doing to myself? Oh, to be young again. I'm not old. I'm just not like young and stupid, that kind of young. Just stupid. Funny. I don't know. I was very, very lovelorn. I was very just girl crazy. I just gotta admit it. I was, and it's part of who I am. I'm not like the hunter. I'm not like Roosh or some, predator type person. But when I was younger, I think I mistook attraction for love, and then I mean you mix in a heavy dose of like super crazy sexy girls in there, and then you lose control of the vehicle, and you go off the road. But I don't think there's any real damage done. It's not like nothing very, very serious. If it were, I wouldn't be telling the story. But anyway, you know what, Flash? I think you'd make a great DJ. If you could apply your sensibility of art towards music, it would be really, really interesting, I think. Check the chat, see what if there was an answer there. Wow, how did you decide that? Regrets. Yeah, they exist. What else am I doing here? So like this last inch of the paper gets cut off, so there's actually no real reason to like draw anything, below there, but it's one of these kind of things I like to give it a sense of completion. Oh, that's another way of making money too, is selling these pages. Like figuring out, and it's kind of wild. They'd be like, "Holy shit!" Like the pages are gone. I don't know. It's hard to let go of the art. You make art, and you're like, it's just like you put all this love and attention into it, and but a better thing would come out of it, right? I would have a colored comic book that is going to look a million times better than just a black and white one, So to me, that's totally worth it. I think I'm going to have to add that into the show to be like, okay, guys, issue 1 is done. Kind of talk through the story, like put it out there for free so people can read it, because I'll be adding the text onto it. And then saying, please help me out with this project. You can do something small like that kind of super chat type thing, or you can buy one of the pages, or you can buy several pages, and it'll go towards finishing this. So, all right. I think we're gonna. Oh no. Yeah, I got one other thing here. So, this is the beginning of the story, and the bad guy blows up the building. The old man comes in, take the body away, and so here's the bad guy. He's killed. He thinks he's killed them all, because there he is blowing up the building with the laser. Zoom out a bit, and he's celebrating by drinking some adrenochrome and feeling really, really clever. But anyway, what I'm saying is that there's a moment here where you see his eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink that right into here and kind of echo that part of the story here. I'm not so sure his ear is that important, so I have to get it lined up. Yeah, man, emotions are running high right now with the situation with Jeff. Every time I think about it, I just kind of choke up, and I can't. A lot of us just kind of can't wrap our heads around it right now. Flash says, I try that on occasions. I'm low-brained. I'm slow-brained. I need to work on playlists in advance. It's really all about that, I guess. My DJ friends are like, it's easy, It's really just about picking the best music and putting the time into figuring that out, Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna say one thing I don't like are DJs that are like in their own world and are just they think there's, I'm so different, I'm so unique, I'm so clever. You know, if you really are clever and unique and different, and you look out on the dance floor and everybody's raging and having a great time and just killing it out there, then you know it's right. But if you look out there and you see people kind of like just talking to each other, going to the bar, kind of looking around at each other like, what's this or something, then you suck. You know? Like, to, one of the worst things a person can have is the inability to read the room. The inability to read the room, especially a DJ, for God's sake. Like, you're supposed to be here to entertain us, you know, help us have some fun. Anyway, who am I? What do I know? What the hell do I know? I'm very, very excited about doing a weekly show with Paul from Patriot Arts. Just getting, having something for the community to come together on. I've been thinking through like how to format the show to make it a little more like a show, you know, where it's like, okay, we start off with this. It's something cool and fun, and then we segue into this other thing, and then another and another, and so that when people are watching the show, there's a sense of things are changing. There's a variety of stuff. You know, we're gonna have we got a guest on, we got some music. Now we're gonna go into the drawing request things. Paul had a brilliant idea I'm super excited about. And Flash, holy shit, I'm so glad you're here, because I think I told you about this already, but his idea is to, like, we're going to draw stuff on a theme, you know, like 14 words or ancestors or any, you know, something related to the movement. And then we'd like to give our art to people like Flash and Wave Guy and Skinless Frank and Jay Ladark, you know, basically digital artists, and then say, hey, you know, jam on this, like color it, throw it in AI, like do something interesting with this, you know, just go for it, you know, just take it away. And then the following week on the show, present this work and be like, you know, last week here's the artwork that I did. Now let's see what Flash Gordon did to it. Let's see what Wave Guy did to it. Let's see what Skinless Frank did to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be dope. It'll be like sick. It'll be so freaking cool to see that artwork jammed up somehow with some cool Flash Wave or Vril Wave or who freaking knows what these guys can do. You know, I just think it'd be an extra way to bring up more artists into the show, and it'll add more quality and variety for the viewers. I don't know, you know, what to do per se with the digital art. I mean, it's, you know, if we want to, you know, sell prints of them, or just kind of put it out there on the internet and let it advertise the show. You see where I'm going with this? So, I don't know, Flash, are you game for that? Would you be into doing something like that? I'm going to check the comments now. Let's see, you guys had a couple things you're talking about here. Flash says, I try that. Yes. Oaf says, adrenochrome has to be only explanation for Heinz Kissinger still being alive. Yeah. I mean, yeah, just stop there. Flash says, you're joking with Nullis about Greta being radicalized by undercover Keith Woods. Greta is being radicalized? What? This is news. I don't know anything about this. Anyway, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I think everybody's looking for profit now. The era of free is gone. And then Chad Love is here. Chad Love, welcome. Pretty entertaining. Good dialogue, Donald. Well, thank you, sir. Wait till I start speaking in an English accent. That's when it gets crazy. Greta had to apologize for her racist cephalopod. I guess I didn't catch that news today. I was at work. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But it's always something new, you know. Flash, it's totally up to you. Like, if you were to, partake in something like this, which I really love. I would really love it if you did, because I love your art, and to see your interpretations on our drawings is just going to be crazy cool. But I just suggested, selling prints. I don't have any kind of personal issue with making money from my art. I've been a freelance artist for more years than I care to tell you. I don't really want to do other people's projects anymore. I just want to do my own. But there you go. I know, So what else is shaking? More California girl stories? Whoa! So I was in Santa Monica, Fresno, and they're beautiful places. I can see how people get kind of enamored with these beautiful places. They're wonderful. I wouldn't remotely think about moving to California, under the current regime. I'm not really, I don't really want to move. I like where I live. And it's my home, that kind of thing. I don't have any desire. I do want to travel in Europe. And I don't know. A lot of it has to do pretty much with where my son wants to go. He's just at the beginning of his life journey with school and all of that stuff. So you get the idea. So what are you guys doing for Halloween? I was mentioning earlier there's a major house music event I'm going to. Usually the spirit at these parties are really, really good. So I'm excited about it. Actually, Halloween's on a Tuesday. So, I believe we're going to do a show on Tuesday, because these new shows are on Tuesdays. So So we'll probably do Halloween themes, maybe some monsters or something cool like that, just for fun, you know. Have a good time with it. You know, get some apple cider or something. Something nice to get in the mood. But the weekly show was I believe Paul's idea. It was a great idea, you know. Um, I've been thinking through like, you know what, you need to get back on the ball. You need to get back out there and get back to doing shows. I did the Imperium Art show for a long time. I was kind of in the, I don't know, the circuit, I guess, of like shows, you know. I've actually already lined up a bunch of new guests. This guy, White Student Transmission, we're going to be looking at his new book. Talking to Josh Neal, Philosophicat. Who else? It just kind of slips my mind at the moment because I'm sort of focusing on this. But you know, certainly want to feature people from the like Patriart and Monthly White Art Challenge. Just keep going with that, you know. So once again, like that edge of the paper is probably going to cut off there, but I think that's okay. Tiny bit more over here. Awesome, dude. Looks like this shit's coming together, yo. I've always hated the term yo. It's like, yo, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, let's first establish that we're ignorant street punks, and then talk, you know. It's like, it just rubs me the wrong way, you know. Anyway, oh, I got it. So, this is the last piece of the pie here. This hand where he, zap out a little bit so you can see. You know, there's the satellite. It's funny how when I made this comic, nobody believed in laser satellites, and then now everybody's like, oh, yeah, like the Jews have laser satellites, you know. So like, I don't like, oh, I'm ahead of the curve, but I'm fucking ahead of the curve. So fuck off, you stupid assholes. Anyway, so here we go. And if you only knew what I knew, or what I know. Anyway, gotta keep your head down. Fit in. Be normal. So we're gonna move this out of the way and get that on. All part of the fun, kids. All part of the fun. This is something I did earlier today. This is kind of cool. It's coming together pretty nicely. I love the action sequences. That's really like the most fun, you know. You get the people beating each other up. All right. It's fiction, okay? Calm down. Let's see. And I was thinking, like, how do I say this? Like, let's say I made a comic that had, just the usual violence that you see in comic books, maybe a little more realistic, more like a Punisher style type thing. But I was actually using, actual groups. Well, maybe I shouldn't go there. But like, let's say if you see the Punisher or Batman or something like that, and nobody looks at comics and then goes out and copies, like copycat type vigilantes. I suppose there's probably wackos that do somewhere. Anyway, it just seems silly. So let's look at the chat. My channel is here. Okay, let's move on. What do we got? So my channel says sup man. Was catching that Ben Davidson live. Ben Davidson is, let me get this straight. He's the guy who does catastrophism. He talks about the solar flare. Is this the same Ben Davidson? Straighten me out on that if I'm right or wrong. We don't do Halloween here, but we celebrate Samhain. So that stuff's on my radar. Like, I've heard of it, but I don't really know anything about it. I'd be interested to know, like, what is Samhain? What do you do on that day? So Wing It says, "And the Fed." Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Wing It says, "Yo was cool in the 70s." Well, I guess that's a little before my time, so I don't know that I was. Maybe it was. I guess maybe I'm out of the loop. Oaf says, "Yo, is it a HARP satellite?" Nice. Yo, is that like a HARP satellite? I'm doing that a little more of like a California surfer dude, Yo, ride the waves, dude. Satellites are coming. The end is nigh, dude. Spark 'em up. All right, Hippocratic Oath. Yo, Thelma Ring, Dark. Thelma Ring. Is that a band? Yo, Adrian. Yeah, good. Not yo, MTV Raps. MTV Craps. Good. Yeah, that was kind of the beginning of the end of MTV right there. My channel says, "How do we donate to Whack Jeff?" Okay, I'll get to that in a minute here. Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. And the results are in. Commercials suck. So, how do we do that? Okay, so I'm going to have to fast forward out of this commercial. Okay, thank you. On Tuesday, basically a type of, I can't remember the name of it. Go Send something, or Send Go Me, or I can't remember the name of it. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But it's a crowdfunding. It's like GoFundMe. It's like that kind of thing, but it's more right wing. Anyway, that's being set up now on Hirith's behalf. It's not her name or address or any of that kind of stuff. So, and then we'll have the link to it in the show, on the show, in however we get that to you on the show. And then Mark Collette will be on the show. Jay Ledark will be on the show. I'm going to leave the link, the StreamYard link, to anybody in the core Pillar members group to come on if you'd like to share thoughts about Jeff, the White Art Collective, anything that you'd like to kind of be a part of the event. All of you guys are welcome. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, and that's how that'll go. So throughout the show, people can click the link, donate whatever they like. And then I'm gonna play Jeff's music. I'll play clips of my interviews with him. I have to do a fair amount of work to prepare for this show. There's going to be a lot of like going through links and stuff. It's going to be really, really hard for me, kind of like emotionally, to like saturate myself with all this stuff in preparation for the show. But I want this to be a really, really great memorial show for him. And I really feel like it shouldn't be like the last thing. Like, Hyrith needs a lot of help. She's got a 3-month-old baby. I mean, this is so far beyond tragic. And like the inner circle, we're really, really going to be looking after her, for some time to come. We're very, very close. I don't know how it's all going to pan out. I'm super grateful to Mark Collette that he's lending his kind of influence and celebrity to the event to help draw in the numbers and get people aware of everything that's going on. I cannot say enough about Mark. I think so highly of him. I mean, I think he's really one of our top voices. I'd be curious actually to think or to ask you guys, in your opinions, who do you think are some of the best influencers out there right now in our sphere? The white identity sphere. Who do you think is killing it out there? And there may be like, well, I don't always agree with this guy, but he's making a lot of headway. So like, I'd say Keith Woods is making a lot of headway. I think that Joel Davis has been doing great. He's fearless in terms of the things that he says. And I think a lot of us still are kind of like cautious. We say things to each other, but we wouldn't say certain things publicly, maybe, just because of whatever pushback or who knows what, I've kind of lost touch with a bunch of shows too. Like, I want to get back to watching White Rabbit Radio. Kind of don't have time for all this thing. It's just, there's only so many hours in the day. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And my concern is about making quality shows, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to add to our culture, but there's also the question of like, how do I say, like, how do I put this? I guess I'm still struggling with some thoughts. I mean, obviously I have this graphic novel that I'm doing. And then this other show with Paul, the live drawing jam sessions and, drawing request show. Yeah, that'll be a fun addition to the culture. Because that's the question. Like, what are you adding to the culture? What are you doing, to bring value to the culture, to the movement, So I am open for, brainstorming too and ideas. So happy, yes, I am happy. Oh, I gotta go back a bit here. I'm gonna talk over that commercial a little bit. Give, send, go. Thank you, yeah. See how smart I am? I can't think of simple things like that. Message, something. Oaf says Thelma is Aleister Crowley's church. Oh, Thelema. I'm sorry, I read it Thelma. I'm like, Thelma and Louise, what? Yeah, not a Aleister Crowley guy. I am into the mystery schools, but not the sort of darker satanic stuff. Jack Parsons was a member and was going to succeed Crowley, but blew himself up. Oh, he also started JPL, which I don't know what JPL stands for. Sorry, you're ahead of the curve, buddy. You gotta talk down to me so I can understand. My channel says, can't find the page on Give Send Go. Oh no, because it's being made. I'm sorry, it's not done yet. That I'm told that it'll be done by the end of the weekend. And then of course we'll be putting it out in our circles. If you're on whatever platforms that we're generally on, Hireth is on Gab and Twitter. It'll get out there, but you'll definitely see it on my show. I mean, it's highlighted and featured on my show on coming Tuesday. My channel says, looked for Winston Hireth. Kent Art is happy. Yes, I am. Happy to have you here. It's good to be around friends. Hollandier is here. Excellent. The lemon-eyed Hollandier is here. I have not been exposed to very much in the last year or so. There are those I find great, though they are not all that well known or spread. Yeah, okay. JPL, NASA, more or less. You're talking about... I'm sorry, I don't know who JPL is. I don't speak in code with me, guys. I'm not as smart as you, okay, please? Jet Productions, Jet Propulsion Laboratories. I should just read one more thing, right? Sorry, used to live in CA until 2020. Hollander says, Yiz spreads our ideas to a borderline mainstream audience. Yeah, so that's the other thing is, like, I'm going to be on her show once a month because I want to break into the borderline area. We have to, this is the war, guys. I mean, it's an information war. And, it's an information war where the media is the platform and the narrative is the land that we're taking back. So, I admire people that are able to somehow break into the mainstream. And, like Elon Musk has tweeted Keith Woods, for God's sake, okay? That's like, whoa, And now he's being, he's being featured on these kind of normie podcasty bullshit shows and stuff, and he's kicking ass. So things are changing, guys. We are moving forward, and I know it's hard because it's like, oh yeah, well the Jews are gonna nuke the planet Earth before we get there. But let's just work forward. Let's go forward. So yeah, I want to work more with Yiz. Ideas borderline mainstream audience, which is incredible. You, Martel, and Nullis are my favorite brain people. Thanks. That's awesome. Obviously, you guys know I've worked a lot with Dave. We have some plans for a new publishing project. It's, I don't know, it's kind of like in limbo at the moment. He's doing a lot with Imperium Press. The Dads, what's it called? Dad Show or something? I forget. Culture Dads, I think. I just caught an episode of it tonight. It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. He's shaking and moving. He's got his own thing going on. So yeah, Nullis keeps talking about coming back. He does want to get back to the White Art Collective poetry show. So I know he's got a lot going on. I mean, I just took like 7 months off almost, I had heavy stuff I had to cope with, and he's, we have families, life happens, so, but, I think you just be patient. He's going to come back. So, we'll get out there and fight the culture war. King Leonidas is here, ladies and gentlemen. Bow to the king. It is so good to have you here, man. This mofo is based, King Leonidas. Great to have you on the chat. That's a detailed hand. Happy drawing. Yeah, I am happy and I am drawing. So let's move on. We got Martell is here. Holy cow! I didn't know you were here. Ha! Excellent. Awesome sauce. Hey, I just caught the last, you probably just heard me talking about, I just caught the last show about, you're going to have to say the name of the show, but it was basically talking about how people get caught in the notion of like, oh, the past is gone and woe is me. And like, no, yeah, it's good. God bless the past. It's an inspiration. It's part of our lineage, but let's do it now. Let's go now, and it was like a kick-ass show. It was really great. Plus just the style of the show, the editing of the show is really enjoyable. Winged says, "Can I buy Imperium Calling with money order?" It's on Amazon, so I guess we can take a kind of a brief. I'll get some light on this. Hold tight. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So you basically, this YouTube has a link to my website. It's usually in all the show notes and stuff. And then you just click it straight to Amazon, and then bing, you go from there. I was thinking about maybe signing them, and maybe at my show, I could sign copies, and give some copies away for the fundraiser for Hyreth. That's a thought, but this is just some works in here, some fine art, conceptual artworks. What else going on here? I got some illustration work. I do caricatures. I'm planning on doing caricatures on the Tuesday live art show, because I think this would be a fun thing to do. Like do a caricature of Friedrich Nietzsche, or Richard Spencer or Joe Biden or something. Hey, there's some cool shit right there. Some kick-ass shit there. I got some comics in the back as well. So you guys, this is like the tour de force right here, my bros. A smattering of everything that I've been doing the past couple years. Let me move on here. Get back to doing some drawing. CG is here. Jeez, guys, with everyone in the chat right now, we could overthrow the New World Order. I swear to God. So, damn, we need to all meet up in one room. Winged says, "Can I buy?" Oh, we'd read that. Davis says, "What does a light table do?" So, in this story, you can kind of see that I'm using the table to copy this art onto this page. This is the first page of the story, and I'm using like a what do you call it? Like a literary device to echo back events from the beginning to the end of the story. And so the light table is for copying, essentially, I guess. Normally in comics, what you do is you've got a penciler who'll do a page, and then an inker will put a page over the pencils, and then you can see through the light, right? You get the idea, right? Light comes through the paper, and then you ink the pencils. So you can ink right over the pencils. That's normal or fine or whatever, but it's just one of those standard comic book world things that we do. I'm actually gonna put that away and get back to the action scene where there's some ass kickery going on. These two particular characters are really, really fun. Militia Man and Westguard. It's basically, they represent kind of like the MAGA normie and the fascist far right guy. Sort of like the dissident right versus the normie right, And there's other characters here. We've got a pagan character, a southerner, and there's just so much to the story. It's driving me nuts. I wish to God I could just have it all done right now, and just give it to me, But we're gonna work on this a bit. Flash says we definitely need a new King Leonidas, 100%. Culture Dads, kick-ass show, guys. Definitely tune in, man. Culture Dads, good fun, and really nice chemistry between Imperium Press and Dave. I had Imperium Press on for Imperium Art years ago, so maybe I need to get back in touch with him. Zoom in a bit so you guys can see better. Teacher Senpai, 私の日本語はとってもダメです。そうですね。素晴らしい。So I can't really teach you that well. I can just pretend to teach. Love these shows. CG's here. By the way, talking about shows, have you guys seen CG's show? The Warcast. Um, CG can put a link in there. Um, he's a military guy, focuses on what's going on in Ukraine. He's our man. He is our guy. Okay. So, man, I am in some good company here. Shit, I'm nervous now, man. Am I gonna live up to you guys? So this is fun because, like, in this scene, I'm gonna back up a little bit, but these other characters, they left Magaforce, and Militiaman doesn't yet know that, like, Magaforce killed his team, and it's a Jewish controlled opposition corporation, most blah blah blah, all the shit that we know about. And he's fighting them, thinking like, oh, you guys are fascists, and I don't work with Nazis, and da, 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 da. And so they're like, no, wait, it's not like that, and they're trying, you get the idea. This is like that moment where there's the big misunderstanding fight, But Westguard is no schlump. He is very, very fucking badass, and you got your, just like, say, who's the guy in The Boys, Homelander. The laser beams, shoots him out, and then he, like, whips him on the ground, smashes his face in the ground. And when I do the text on this, what's gonna happen is, how you have, like, bang, crash, like those automatopoeia type words, where he's smashing him into the ground. I'm gonna use the word Trump. So, like, this book is super, super layered with, like, Easter eggs and stuff. So the idea being that the fascists are like, knocking out the Trumpsters, per se. And I'm not that I have anything against Trumpsters or something, but it's just kind of showing that, like, we're right, I guess, is pretty much where I think I'm going with that. So I'll just stop there. But yeah, so Tuesday's coming. We are getting the crowdfunding, not crowdfunding, the fundraiser going for Hyreth. Like I said, Mark Collette is going to be on the show. That's a pretty big deal. So I'm really excited and grateful to him that he's coming on. I spoke to him about Jeff, and he was quite upset about it. It's devastating news. So I think it's wonderful that Mark is gonna bring his influence and power, or his numbers to the table when we do that. It's nice to see that. The other thing too is, you guys have to remember, when my mom passed away, the White Art Collective and many people in our culture came together for me when I needed it. You see, so this is, in a way, a kind of a, sort of my way to pay back in some way. I mean, I think you understand what I mean. It's sort of a bit of a karmic circle here, where something horrible has happened, and I want to step up. I mean, I would anyway, this is just a normal thing, but I can't get around the feeling that, like, this whole thing reminds me of when everyone in the White Art Collective and in our sphere came out to help me when I needed it. Now, Dave was a huge part of that too. He was on the show with Nullis. I'm sure, of course, he remembers. Nullis really led that, actually. It was primarily his idea. And then, of course, there were many other people that, showed up, and this and that. Josh Neal, Kai Moros was on the fundraiser. This is what family is. You see what I'm saying? It's like, shit hits the fence, shit hits the fan, and you gotta show your true colors. You gotta step up. And then beyond that is just the whole issue, or the whole notion of like Jeff Winston. I mean, Jeff Winston died, you know. Jeff Winston, of all people, you know, he's the things that he's done, that he's contributed, the energy that he had, the culture that he built. There's so many artists in our sphere that are like, I really wouldn't. Where would I be right now without the White Art Collective? Like it helped me to find a home. It helped me in so many ways. Da 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 da. And there's so many more people coming in now as well. It just keeps growing. Paul from Patriot Art Community, and we were kind of talking about it, and we sort of calculated about 300 artists in total between like the UK, Europe, and America, etc. I think that's freaking great. That's pretty damn cool. And that's not even including, say, like the writers from Bizarchives, or people that are kind of like just sort of satellites around around our culture, that are out there doing things creatively, whatever that might be. If it's music, or even just making shows that are about culture, making memes, making videos. There's quite a lot of wonderful culture producers in our sphere. So it's really, Jeff really deserves like great honor, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can to give him that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, I've since I had my life issues and I kind of fell out of the scene for a good while. I don't really have the numbers that I used to. I don't have like the reach that I used to. Of course, having Mark Collette help out is, that's pretty good. He's not small potatoes, so that's cool. Yeah, so these are the things that are going on right now. Yeah, but I am like, I don't know if you guys caught any of my stream yesterday where I talked about Jeff and everything. I have my own, like, I have a very, very different experience of death and grieving, in terms of the fact that I've had so much of it in my life, starting from a young age on. So I'm way, way, way more accustomed to dealing with this. But even beyond that, I have a sort of cosmological, view of things, and my kind of spiritual practice is rooted very strongly in such a way that my perspective or perception of life and death is not as horrible or tragic or crushing as a lot of people. The crushing thing, of course, is the baby in Hiraeth, and thinking through the hardships that they'll have to face for the rest of their lives. But what that calls on us to do is, at least us who are inside the culture, like the inner core of the White Art Collective, is to maintain those friendships, to treat it like family. And I think there's a bigger lesson here with the movement in general, that we're not all going to get along. It's fine, whatever, just lighten up, But I think to some degree, at least I would like to think, that we could be family, or that we should be family in some way. It's easy for me to say. I know there's a lot of hotheads out there and blah, 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 whatever. But that's how I approach things. That is how I see things. And I will continue to be that way, So, I'm good, I think there's something to say for the fact that, like, we are so ghosted and so demonized that when you meet people in this sphere, it's unique. You know, it's like, I'll give you an example. When I lived in Asia, and I had mentioned this on a previous show, that you're walking around in Asia, you know, and you're an alien, you know, you're the minority, and then you run into another white person, and it's automatically straight out of the gate, smiles and wow, hi, hey, where are you from? Da, da, da. And like by default, you're friends right away, you know, and it's just something that would never happen here, you know. But you're both like, wow, yeah, oh wow, you're from New Zealand, or oh, I've never, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, well, I work for this company, or I teach English, or something. Oh, cool, man. Or do you hang out around here? Oh, yeah, here, I'll give you my phone number, something. And then there you go. You know what I mean? Like, because you're out there on your own. Like you're the alien, you know. And we are the aliens on the kind of political spectrum, according to what the world is made of us, what they say about us, how they ghost us. Of course, we know we're right. We know, you know, we're in the right. You know, we know that we have truth on our side and all these things. And, you know, we may or may not, you know, red pill the normies. But until then, I don't know, I feel like there's a type of family, I suppose. Maybe it's a dysfunctional family, I don't know. But there's something there. Anyway, maybe this is just a romanticized Donald Kent way of seeing the world, you know. But I'm okay with that. And I can certainly extend that sense of family to you guys. You know what I'm saying? I have to stop saying, you know what I'm saying? I sound like I'm like some goomba from Brooklyn. Hey, how you doing? Where you been? Hey, how come you don't call me no more, huh? What's the matter with you, huh? How's your sister Maria? How's she been, huh? I don't see you at church no more. What's the matter? You ain't Catholic? Get the fuck out of here. Shut up in your face, you mook. Fuck out of here. I know a guy. You better watch what you say. This is like my acting practice hour as well. I get to. I'm hoping Martin Scorsese's gonna call me, you know, for the next Goodfellas. Well, he was half Irish, but he earned their trust by doing a bit in prison, and now he's one of the Goodfellas. I did actually live in Brooklyn. So I got a little bit of training in the accent, if you will. Accents are fun. I don't know, they're fun. I did that once with and some Italian friends, and they didn't think it was funny. Like their faces were like, you insulting me, you know. I'm like, guys, calm down. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know, this is a joke. Like if I did an Irish accent or an English accent or a German accent or a Japanese accent, it'd be funny. I do an Italian accent, you get mad. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, forget about it. So what do we got? Wingit says, Kent, what do you think of Vivek? Oh boy, here we go. Your BGs are wicked. My BGs. I told you guys I don't speak code. My big guys are wicked. Help me out here, guys. So what do I think of Vivek? I bashed him straight out of the gate when he came out on they did like suddenly out of nowhere there's like, oh, there's this based Indian guy who like knows all our talking points and wow, man, he's really saying the things that the others won't say. You know, like this is, and even without knowing his history and the fact that his law degree was paid for by George Soros, and that he's trained in the World Economic Forum, and that he's been around since he was in his 20s, being groomed for shit like this. I could smell a rat straight away, and I kept trying to tell people on Twitter and elsewhere that don't fucking fall for this guy. You know, this He's not us. He's not one of us. You know, this is the same old fucking bullshit about like, like using our talking points. He doesn't believe in these things. He doesn't care, and it's just deception. It's just deception. And so like, whatever the kind of the right wing went through this sort of a short honeymoon, with him being all like, well, yeah, I'd vote for him, and then like, this and that happened, and then somebody probably on 4chan or something came out and was like, okay, here's the truth about this guy, and showed all that stuff that I just told you about with like George Soros and da 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 da. So it came out fairly, shortly after the debate that Trump didn't attend, that he's just another fucking plant. It's just kind of sad how quick people are to want to believe things. It kind of hurts. I was like that. I kind of am like that still, because it's just, this whole fucking mess is just a nightmare. But I just think he's got the most punchable face. I would say that. I think he's got like a very punchable face. That's what I would say. Maybe we'll send Westgard after him. Oaf says, family is where you fight someone who is not a stranger. I got a lot of that going on. Backgrounds, sorry, BGs. See, I should know better, right? Wing it. Why don't you just finish this page for me here? Take the pen. Go ahead. Finish up. No, like I should know those things. I just like, whatever. I think part of it is that like talking and drawing, inking at the same time is like, juggling and riding a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? It's like it takes a certain something, and then like that's how I like don't, I'm like, oh, what's that thing? What's that name of that thing? Because I just can't seem to spread myself thin enough here with all these activities. Plus, I'm excited that you guys are here. Like, it just makes me puts me in a good mood, So my head's all over the place. No, I did not have anything to drink before. So there you go. Let's see. Trying to pull out one of these widgets, and give this guy a slam here. There we go, something like that. I heard a bang upstairs, which maybe means that my family who's visiting is home. So I might have to close it up here in a minute. I'm kind of listening for voices. If I hear any voices, I'll have to wrap it up. Backgrounds, I spoke about this a bit on another show. Like, I think of them as another character that, like, they set the tone of the story. I was thinking, like, think about movies like Blade Runner and how important the backgrounds were, Like, there's, on this panel, there's going to be a big, like I said, like, Trump, like, thump. But, anyway, so, like, not everything has to be filled up, but anyway, yeah. And in some cases you don't put backgrounds in because there's going to be word balloons here or something, But in other cases, like the backgrounds are everything. You know, they kind of they tell the story. Like the physicality of a scene is the story. You know. Many years I really wanted to be a concept artist for like Hollywood, basically. You know, I was just enamored with film. I think there was a site called conceptart.org that was like a freelancer listings, you know, where you could do concept art for video games and stuff. And you mostly had like students from, you know, expensive schools in California or whatever. Like, you know, it wasn't for me, you know, meaning I didn't have like the education or background to get that kind of work. Let's see what you guys are talking about here. Check out the chat. Zal good, very good. Thank you, Wing It. Hollandier says, I've never seen a tool like that before. Yeah, that's very much like an Illustrator's special tool. We use it for a variety of funky things. I is here. Welcome, I. Have you ever read the Turner Diaries, Donald? I ordered it from Better World Books. Someone recommended it for the dissident right wing. I know what it is. I'm aware of it. I want to read it. It's funny how, like, I'm an audiobook guy. You know, like I started listening to Siege on audiobook a while back. I should finish that. Just because, like, I'm going to be drawing while I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm going to be working. I'm double dipping, you know. I need to be productive. It's rare that I just read. Like, I do have that nice, you know, those Vril books that I bought recently, and I am going to invest some time into that. I used to read a lot more, but with the internet and audiobooks, videos, podcasts, you get the idea. But yeah, let me know how it is, though. I really would like to hear your thoughts on that. Wing It says, night, y'all, men of the West. All right, cheers. Thanks for coming. Otter Cubbing is here. Wow, Otter Cubbing. Welcome to the team. Can you draw the Prowler? I love the Prowler. One of Spider-Man's villains. Yeah, I can totally draw the Prowler. I think what you might want to do is come on Tuesday. This Tuesday I'm not sure that's the time, but you still could come Tuesday. I have a show where I will be doing drawing requests. So, and then I'm doing it every Tuesday though, so subscribe to this channel. And it'll be a lot of fun to be able to take requests like that, because I love that character. My channel says, yeah, when you took enough to hear voices, it's probably a wrap. Yeah, I just heard the door slamming upstairs, guys, so I hate to tell you this, but I gotta break it up. So I want to say goodnight, and God bless you. Epic marketing game done. You see right through me, don't you? All right, I love you guys. I really do. God bless you so much, and we'll see you soon. Okay, have a wonderful night.